Boom, we are live again. And you're through. How easy was it? How did it feel? Did you enjoy the game? Did you get to enjoy the game, or was it a dull game?
Had a bit of both, really, to be fair. Yeah. We started the game off okay. They had a clear-cut header first few minutes, headed it, keeper saved it. We're lucky, to be fair. He didn't get a good too good a head on it. And then Cavani comes up the other end. The ball gets played in from Tellez. Nice ball round the back of the defence for a change before the defence gets set. Pogba gets onto it. He's at the near. He comes to the near post and he flicks it back to Cavani. Cavani just left foot volleys it. He kind of scuffs it off his shin, and it goes bottom right. And obviously that's a great start for us.
Take that.
And then what happens is they go for it. They keep going for it, really. And
that's good.
It could have been a very different game. They had some clear-cut chances, better chances than us after that. And we were just lucky that they just didn't. Like, one of the players got the ball in the box. He swiveled. He had a left foot shot he had pretty much the whole goal to shoot at, and he misses the target. They buffed another one wide of the target. I was like, wow, good job. And then they had another point header, which De Gea saved. So on another day, they could have had 3 goals, so we could be struggling.
Were they a tougher test than the first leg?
Yeah, they were better. They created better chances. It's funny because we were still comfortable. You know, it's one of them ones we're comfortable, but they always seem to have got a chance from nowhere.
Yeah. And
that chance didn't end up being a goal, so it's still comfortable. So we played some okay stuff. Pogba picked up a yellow card early in the first half, again for running and taking on a player and putting his arm out. It kind of slid next to his neck, and he's giving him a yellow card. And obviously, if he gets another, he's going to miss the semis. So Solskjaer kept him on, and he nearly got booked again. He went for a tackle and he put his leg out from behind, and it wasn't bad. But again, when you're in your yellow and you got this kind of ref, you know, these kind of refs and the Spanish going down like you know, like they've been shot. That's what happens. So he come off at half time, and Van der Beek comes on. What I expected anyway, and then Van der Beek does well. Van der Beek does really well, popping the ball around quick when you need to, slow when you need to, and man, he set up Greenwood within 5 minutes. He sees Greenwood.
Is he dictating the play well? Then he's dictating the play.
He did really well. He put a ball right on the sixpence for Greenwood, but it's a bit hard for him. And the other day, I would have thought if he could have tried to chest it and then score, because he arrived in the box and he was basically on his own. But because it was quite high, he had to try and head it, and he couldn't purchase enough power on it, and it went straight to the keeper's hands. But what a ball in from Van der Beek, and then the ball in for the goal as well. So
he set up the goal as well.
It was like, sorry.
He set up the goal.
Well, no, the ball came in from a cross, a great ball in, and so Mata's gone to head it. He's kind of missed it, but the defender's him thinking Mata's going to hit it, and it's gone straight on his head and gone in the bottom corner. So it was lovely.
Oh yeah, no, I did see it. I did see it was an own goal, the second goal.
Yeah,
but you'll take that. You'll take that. That put the. I mean, it was the 90th minute again, a bit like the Bruno Fernandes goal in the first leg, and like one relatively early goal, one late goal.
Yeah, so to win 4-0, so that's obviously clean sheet, both legs. We've got to be happy with that. You know, and Pogba did really well while he was on his yellow card. So he can be happy with himself and come off early. And the people I mentioned, hoping that Ahmed comes on. Oh my gosh. I don't know if
he actually came on.
Oh my gosh. He played up front. He went up front for Cavani. Dan James went on to the left, came on the left, and had Van der Beek going off the right. So we're defending, and we cleared the ball, and I think it's Van der Beek. He puts in Ahmed, and he's in the middle of the pitch going through on goal, like he's going to go. So he kind of fumbles, gets it again, and starts running. The defender's behind him, takes his legs off, and he's on the floor, and the ref doesn't give nothing, and the guy's already on the yellow, taking his legs up.
Oh, what?
On the floor. He's taking his legs, no ball, nothing, from behind.
Blatant.
Taking his legs out, and he's through. He's through.
Yeah.
He's through. He's outside the box, about 30 yards out still, but he's still got to keep going. But he's the man. He's the last man. There's no one else to defend him.
And the ref didn't give anything.
He gets taken out, and there's no foul. And I couldn't believe it. Again, how does that not happen? And how does... It's like you need a VAR to show something, to do something about that, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Because if they go down the other end and score, can you pull it back and say that was a major foul there? And you got to get sent off?
You actually can. You actually can. But I don't know. I don't know with this VAR at the moment. It seemed like it was looking good in the World Cup, and all of a sudden it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess.
Clear and obvious ever. I don't know if they're in a clear. It's weird because what do? You can't. Can you stop the play there and give a red card because he was the last man?
No, you have to.
Stop it when it goes out of play and go, listen, that was a foul. He's got to be sent off. Surely.
But if they're not already looking at it, if they're not checking it, they're not going to check it just because a player's called it or a manager's called it. It would have to be someone in VAR's pulling it up. But I don't understand how he could be clean through and then a guy take him out. Did he look sharp when he came on? Did he look like it could be a danger?
Yeah, he had some nice little flicks. The ball came into him. I think Mata was running it in the box. He got the ball in the box, tried to lay it off for Van der Beek or Mata, who was running just past him, just missed out. But it was nice to see them trying to do all that link-up play. And that's what we like. You know, Mata came on. So you had Mata, Van der Beek. You had these boys and Ahmad up front. So you could see a little bit of, interchange going on. The game was already done and dusted. But, Tuan Zabi had a nice, calm game. Everyone played okay, to be fair. Tellez did well. Wan-Bissaka did really well. His music ball was quite good. So I was happy with that. Fair, everyone played okay. And it's one of them games you're through anyway. And they were just coasting after 1-0 up. And, they had more chances than us. But in the end, happy.
Yeah, happy. Shane Van der Beek. Do you think this could be a chance for Van der Beek? Because you've mentioned him a few times. He looked quite sharp, you're saying. Do you think it's potentially maybe a chance for him to show his worth and maybe start pushing for some first-team football in the Premier League as well?
He should get a chance. I don't understand how someone with that kind of ability, like he does all of the simple things well. He's obviously not like a Carrick. He doesn't sit at the back and help orchestrate play. But he gets a little bit more forward. He's kind of like your replacement for Herrera. He's that kind of player. He can do a bit of both. Yeah,
he's a bit all-rounder.
Yeah, that's what you need. And that's what we missed, to be fair. When Herrera left, he's a big player. He was a big player for us. And there was a void there. And now that we've got a Van der Beek, what did we play? We used to play with, Matic, Herrera and Pogba, wasn't it, at the time? So I'm sure if you took Herrera and had the Van der Beek there now, that's the kind of player that he can be. He can play in any of those three positions. He can play in Bruno's position, he can play in Pogba's position, and he can also play in Fred's if you need to. But I wouldn't want to play him in Fred's. I'd like him to be in one of the other two. So I'd keep interchanging him with Pogba. If Pogba's not playing, you put him in. But again, it's what are we playing? Because Pogba played as one of the three, didn't he, today? So one of the three behind the strikers. So it's not the same. But he is definitely better when he's just orchestrating things going on and making things tick a bit faster. And it's nice. It was nice to see that he's still sharp, even though he's not playing too often. Yeah. He's going to need him soon. Otherwise, he better just go, because it's not fair on a player with that kind of ability to be sitting here not playing. He must be upset because he's looking at it going, wait a minute. The players, I'm not being funny, but the players that are playing in front of me, it's not really fair. But on the other hand, it's the positions, isn't it? It's how do you play positions? And that's the problem we've got. It's either Pogba or Bruno or Van der Beek, and it's going to be Pogba and Bruno, isn't it?
And that's the thing. It's not Fred and McTominay that's in front of him. It's Pogba and Bruno, and when they play, they're in form. So it's a tough one for Ollie. But I mean, it's one of them dilemmas that you don't mind having. that you've got
Yeah,
three
but at
players that
least
look
give him
sharp and you've got
minutes.
them options. Yeah, you do need to give
Give
him
him
minutes.
minutes in the games. Like, you've got to
Yeah.
rotate it a bit more in the league games. Like, I
Mhm.
know you need to win, but he's not a player that's going to let you down. He's a player that's going to do stuff. When someone else is quiet out of Bruno and Pogba, I would say, listen, Van der Beek, get yourself warmed up, lad. Get yourself on. That's what I do. While if they ever didn't play, you know, they're quiet. Or if you know there's a game coming up soon, like we do know now. There's a game coming up soon. We've got to play one, then the other. You know, you can start Pogba all the time. You can start Bruno all the time. But at least bring him off and let him come on and get more minutes. You know, he needs that. So he was good.
And Roma in the next after their 1-1 draw with Ajax.
Yeah.
Happy with that tie? I mean, it's never not an easy one either way, but Roma.
Yeah. Well, you know, I heard them mention that Mkhitaryan is there. Small is obviously at the club. Obviously, he's injured, but you got a few ex-Man United boys that are there, and it's gonna obviously even the ex-Man City boy Dzeko, who scored today.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where it's gonna bring back memories, and it's gonna be something, you know, something worth looking at. Mkhitaryan actually he played today as well. So
he's had a very good season as well.
Yeah, well, I liked him, but it's just we played it wrong. Again, it's another player who came from Germany doing really well, Bundesliga player of the season, and then comes to us, and then for some reason Mourinho can't get the best out of him. You know, Mourinho wants him to be a beast and tackle everyone and win headers. Kind of player. So one of them things. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I expect us to still have a bit too much for them. You know, if we continue doing what we're doing, we should be able to, you know, hold out defensively. We have all our players back as well. Shaw will be back. Maguire will be back in that centre-back pairing. I'm not sure if it means they're better, but, you know, I think that it's the same. Like, Tuanzebe playing today felt like it's similar to everyone else. So
do you do well, yeah?
Yeah, he did well. Won pretty much most of his challenges. Kept it simple. Didn't really make stupid errors. You know, it's just all standard stuff. And but they did have a few chances. But again, when I looked at it, I couldn't see that it was his fault, if you get what I mean. So I was quite happy with that. Exactly.
Yeah.
We got here. Van der Beek looked decent. 45 minutes. Exactly. He did.
He also mentioned the ref bottled it. It did not send the player off as well. So 100% right there.
Definitely.
Before we go, any standout players tonight that you was really impressed with?
To be fair, Pogba did well in the first half. And then Van der Beek did quite well in the second half. So between them two, and Wan-Bissaka actually had a pretty solid game, to be fair. Obviously, defensively, he's always solid. But
he's pushing for that England spot, isn't
he?
He's pushing for that England spot. He wants that England spot.
Just for his defensive work, he needs to get in there.
I think England need that balance. They need that balance. They can't. Exactly. There's no point in just taking attacking fullbacks. They need that balance. And I think Wan-Bissaka is an excellent visit. Yeah, but he does need to work on his crossing.
Yeah,
like this guy used to be a winger. How is he a winger? He got cross the ball.
Who shot all the time.
You're a winger. You can score goals and cross. All of a sudden, no, you're right back now. You've forgotten how to cross.
Let me just lose my balance when I cross the ball.
I know. All right. Thanks for that, Nathan. Man United through to the next round against Roma. It's going to be a tough tie. I don't know if you saw in the other game, Arsenal got through to the next round against Villarreal. So it could potentially be, if Arsenal can get through past Unai Emery, which will be tough, because he's a master at winning this Europa League. He's a master. He knows how to win these cups. He knows that even with us, he got in the final. But Man United Arsenal final. Ooh.
I'd love to see that, to be fair. I'd love to see it.
I don't want it.
You know what? You want to have games that are going to be with good players on both ends. You don't want to play a game where you're the overwhelming favourite to win. So,
no, but do I win that game? You know, the overwhelming favourite game. Yeah. Do I win that? just skip to the end of the book. Do I win that game? Because that's what I care about.
You're right.
All right. Thanks for tonight, Nathan. All right, make sure you like and subscribe, people. Make sure you follow Nathan on Twitter and Instagram. You can find him here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Catch us on the next one in 2 seconds. Peace out.
Arsenal in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's go.